The news has been all over the place since we last spoke. Just listen to what we're about to cover. 2 more scientists have died in a deadly crash. We have an update and new footage of the shooting in the Mexico pyramids. One of the special forces agents who captured Maduro did some insider betting and made $400,000. There's also a new trend where kids are running through the Scientology building, recording themselves, and see how far they can get inside the building. We're also going to talk about much more, but let's get right into it. We're gonna start things off a little different. We're gonna start on a lighter note. We're gonna look at some of the footage of the kids running into the Scientology building in Los Angeles. Now, I always think that the building of Scientology is just so interesting. They're so private about everything, and a lot of people are saying it's like a cult. No one really knows exactly what's going on inside of these buildings, but the fact that everything is so private, it's already a red flag. Now, you can do your research on it. I've made videos on it before exposing the whole religion or whatever you want to call it, but now people are running into the buildings, recording themselves, and you just listen to how crazy this gets. We're gonna start off a little light, but these get wild.
How are you?
I'm doing good, how are you?
Oh, I'm in Scientology! We're in Scientology! Get out, get out, get out! Get out, bro, it's a cult! Get out, get out, get out! Oh, oh, don't grab me, bro. Don't grab me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Get out. Don't touch me. 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 Holy shit. Holy shit. I'm wallahi. I'm going in here. I'm wallahi. I'm wallahi. I'm wallahi. I'm going in here. Where's Zenu? Zenu's not here. Huh?
I wonder if they had to legally blur this out.
Damn, you got a nice haircut. Go. Go up. Where are you going down for? Hey. Hey, hold on. Come back. Get out! Get out!
Get out of the building! Get out of the building! Now! You're trespassing! Get out of the building! Get out of the building!
Stop it! Get out! Just get out! Just get out! Thank you! Go! Get out! Go!
There is a lot more where that came from. You can just search it up online. And no, I don't feel bad for laughing, and I don't really feel bad for them either. The only thing I feel bad for is that the fact that Scientology got them, because it's a cult, and you pretty much have to do that for the rest of your lives, and they get paid like literal pennies. It's insane. Just look into Scientology. We don't want to get into all of that right now, but we'll move on to the next subject. Remember when the United States captured Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro? It was a very quick, very swift, very fast capture, and they brought him to the United States and they arrested him. Well, one of the Special Forces members who was part of this operation, he bet on Polymarket. It says he wagered $32,000 that Maduro would be out by January, out of office, which is completely random, right? So the odds were literally times over 1,000 of every dollar that you put. So $32,000 got him $400,000 after betting on this. Representative Ana Paulina Luna is calling for this guy to be pardoned. Now, before you say, what the heck, why would you pardon this guy? Listen to the point that she makes. She says, maybe not a popular take, but I am calling for this guy to be pardoned unless the Department of Justice plans on going after all the crooks in Congress currently insider trading. This is simply skewed justice. There is no justice when guys like this get the book thrown at him, yet members are illegally profiting every day. I don't agree with what he did, and he should be required to disgorge all the profits. However, unless the Department of Justice plans on doing Congress next, this is not justice. Wow. So they asked Trump about this, and this is what he said.
Mr. President, apparently there was a Special Forces soldier who was involved in the capture of Venezuelan President Maduro, who was arrested by federal authorities today on suspicion of insider trading and betting on Polymarket. Are you concerned that federal employees are betting on these prediction markets and potentially getting rich?
Well, I don't know about it, but Was he betting that they would get him or they wouldn't get him?
It sounds like he was betting on his removal from office, that Maduro would be removed.
Well, that's
it sounds like
interesting.
he was involved in the operation.
That's like Pete Rose betting on his own team. It's a little like Pete Rose. Pete Rose, they kept him out of the Hall of Fame because he bet on his own team. Now, if he bet against his team, that would be no good, but he bet on his own team. I'll look into it, yeah?
Look, I'm not agreeing with what this guy did. This is not something you should do by any means. But I'm with Anna Paulina Luna here. You go after the damn Nancy Pelosi's that are making millions and millions of dollars because they know the next moves in the stock market. They go all in. They know exactly what's going to happen. The risk isn't very high for them, and it's literally just life on easy mode for them. But you want to go and arrest this guy, special forces guy, who risked $30,000 and maybe even his life. I don't know exactly what his job was on the mission. I don't know if he actually went in and grabbed the guy. He bet on his own team, like Donald Trump said. It would be a whole different story if he went in, he completely botched the mission and bet against the United States. We have a different cause there. But this guy, he's like, no, we're going to do this thing. I'm going to put $30,000 that we're going to do this thing, and let's see if it happens. And he won. He bet on himself, kind of. Obviously, he knew it was going to happen, and the United States is very powerful. Venezuela doesn't really compare to the United States' power, so he probably knew that the success rate of this was going to be very high. They probably also thought about that in Iran. You got to think about that. In Iran, look how it's going. It's a disaster. But he went and he bet on himself. I'm like, yeah, this is not something you should do, by the way. But before you go and arrest this guy and make a whole show about it and have all the representatives talking about it, take care of the people that are making millions and millions of dollars off of big, massive companies manipulating the market. That's much more dangerous in my eyes. Next, we have an update on the shooter of the Teotihuacan pyramids in Mexico. I'm going to show you footage. It's a bit slow, so I'm going to read you an article giving you context on this video. This is the shooter right here. Someone was recording him spotted. I do think it's a little suspicious that this man was literally being tracked by a camera. I'm just going to put that out there first. That's the shooter. Let me give you some context. So the assailant who opened fire at one of Mexico's signature archaeological sites, leaving a Canadian woman dead and 13 other foreign visitors injured, including 6 U.S. citizens, was a copycat who admired mass shooters and meticulously planned the attack, Mexican authorities say. The shooting was on Monday. If you remember my YouTube video, we talked about this and we had some footage on it as well. But this is better footage of the actual shooter. The shooter had the profile of a psychopath and a copycat who sought to mimic the homicidal actions of mass shooters, said Luis Cervantes, District Attorney State of Mexico, where the archaeological zone is situated. Yasso acted alone, he said, and there is no indication of external or outside participation or even the cartel. He said the killer was a far-right fanatic and admirer of Hitler. The attack occurred on April 20th, which is both Hitler's birthday and the anniversary of the Columbine school shooting. Wow, that's absolutely wild. The gunman employed a single revolver, a .38 Special Smith & Wesson. You can hear the gunshots going off now. Now everyone's running. He took a knife and a backpack. He took an Uber to the site and stayed in a hotel nearby. He scouted the area and planned the attack for days. Wow. I mean, this is just horrific. It's just so sad when it's at a historical site where there's just so many foreigners and people just on vacation trying to have a good time. Unreal. Call me a conspiracy theorist. I just think it's so weird that this guy was recording him perfectly from the start. If you watched my last video, you know that there is a lot of dead or missing scientists going on around the world, and it seems like this is starting to become connected. Even Donald Trump acknowledged it, saying that he's going to look into it. What if I told you we just got our 14th and 15th dead/missing scientist? It was a father. He was flying with his family, a family of 4, and they all died in a plane crash. He was a scientist, and his son was an up-and-coming scientist. Watch this.
And turning now to a story we've been following as well. High-profile American scientist vanishing, turning up dead. Well, this morning,
Yet another decorated scientist and defense researcher dead in a plane crash in South Carolina last week. Just found out about this. Investigators say James Moffett was flying his small personal plane. They were refueling. He was with his wife and 2 sons when that plane crashed near the Union County Airport, about 35 minutes south of Spartanburg. The family was traveling to their home in Huntsville, Alabama, to Raleigh when they stopped there. Now, Moffett was an aerospace engineer. He spent a lot of time as a career Army test pilot. He also worked as a flight crew support specialist for NASA, where he took part in 14 Space Shuttle ISS construction missions. He is now growing in this, or adding to this growing list. This is a photograph now, a picture of all those that have either turned up dead or missing since 2022, actually. Now, the White House taking this matter very seriously. They've launched an investigation. They're trying to figure out if these are linked together. Right now, they have not tied all these together at all.
Well, let me give you a head start if you want to tie in things together. So my whole last video, it was about her. This is Amy Eskridge. She was working on anti-gravity, which is a really big deal because if you can figure out anti-gravity, that's basically how UFOs fly around in the water and space, whatever, using anti-gravity. That's what Amy Eskridge was working on. That's what my whole last video is about. She was talking about how she was being targeted by a directed energy weapon because of the work that she was doing. We're going to watch this video right now, but let me connect some things for you. Let's start with Huntsville, Alabama. We just watched a family in the plane. They were flying to their home in Huntsville. Amy Eskridge, where did she die with an alleged self-inflicted wound in 2022? She also died in Huntsville. What about the guy who died in the Tesla last year, who is a NASA nuclear scientist? He was also in Huntsville, and I know that's a place for scientists to do their work, and I know it's kind of the hub. But how about we start going to Huntsville? Maybe you start asking around, investigating, talking to people that work in the industry. Because she was saying it for a long time. This girl, she was saying, I'm being targeted. I'm being stalked. They're attacking me. Now, who knows if that's real or not? You can make that decision on your own. But listen to this video that she posted. This was 3 years ago, 4 years ago, actually, in 2022, 1 month before she passed away.
My hands have been burned to hell and back as I've been typing. Because you can beam me through there and through there, and you can get a 3D image of what I'm typing. Because this computer doesn't have a Wi-Fi card, you can't hack it, but you can maybe get a 3D image of me typing. So like we just did that, and did that as an act of pure desperation.
I know it's a bit hard to understand what's going on, but she's showing her hands that they're burned, kind of like a glove you can see here on the bottom left picture. And she's saying as she's working, they're firing a directed energy weapon into her home through this window. And she covered the window, and in my last video you can see that she lifts the window up, and you can see that it's melted through. And she also barricaded, she said, the other side of her room. But she said like she's freaking out because every time she works, they're trying to burn her hands off of the table, quite literally. We also have an update on the case of famous singer David. You can officially see him, live footage in the courthouse. He was obviously charged with finding the body parts of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez in his car. We have some new details. You can watch this as I give you some information. I'll read a little bit for you. It says, the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner's Office has released the cause of death for 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Singer David was charged with the murder as well as other offenses in connection with the case. The medical examiner's report found the following: 2 penetrating wounds in the torso, bilateral dismemberment of upper and lower extremities, multiple skin defects, 2 fingers missing, her left eye was absent. Alcohol was in her system, but that wasn't a factor in her cause of death. The medical examiner says Rivas died from multiple penetrating injuries. Her body reportedly sat in David's Tesla for over 4 months. Wow. The singer is accused of killing her after she threatened to expose his criminal conduct and devastate his musical career by reporting his sexual abuse. So this is him in the courthouse now. I believe the date is May 1st. There's also some information that TMZ posted that they found of him. During the hearing, prosecutors claimed they went through his phone and found a significant amount of CP. So like pictures of underage people, you know what I'm saying? She was also underage, so maybe they're just saying that's her, or it could be other. Who knows? Who knows the details? If we get more, I'll let you know. It says prosecutors also revealed a wiretap was involved in the investigation. They said the wiretap took place last year, but there's no other specifics. They're saying that he's very calm and cool and collective. You can see him here. This is something that was obviously allegedly premeditated. He has a very high-powered defense team. It's Blair Burke, and he did plead not guilty. So we'll see what happens. But man, there's more. This just gets darker as the day goes on. We just get new information every time, and it continues to surprise me. I know we cover a lot of dark stories, especially like with David and then the little girl who was kidnapped by the FedEx driver. Well, a lot of people call for the death penalty when things like this happen, and as of today, they are now bringing back the firing squad as a means of the death penalty. It's where they strap the person down who's getting the death penalty, and they have about 3 to 5 people with rifles. They have a target on their chest, and they shoot him, and they execute the man for what he's done, the extremely heinous crime that he has committed. This hasn't been used in about 15 years. There's actually an instance where this guy explains the last time it was used and exactly how it works when someone is called for the death penalty via firing squad.
In the curtain open, Brad Sigmund was strapped into the chair. Unlike other death executions I've seen, he was in a black jumpsuit, had black Crocs-like shoes on. He was completely strapped in. It looked like there was a harness over him. There was a strap over his head. His ankles were shackled. He had a covering over his mouth that, was from about here down. When the curtain opened, he looked towards his attorney, who was on the front row of the witness. They kind of exchanged. They had an exchange. I couldn't tell because his mouth was covered what they were mouthing back and forth to each other, but it looked like he was just saying he was okay to his attorney, Sigmund did. At that point, they had the attorney came out and read the final statement. When the final statement was read, well, let me back up one step. He had a target over his heart when the curtain opened. It was already there. It was a little rectangle white paper, or I'm assuming it was paper, could have been cloth. They had a bullseye on it. It had one outer ring and one inner ring on it. It was red. The bullseye was red. So they came out, read his final statement. At that point, when that was finished, the prison employee got a hood, put the hood over Sigmund's head. Then that prison employee walked from the chair the 15 feet over to where there's a brick wall, and at that point there's a black shade, like one of those shades that you pull down and it rolls up. So that there's a black shade there. The prison employee lifted up the shade, and then from that point it was a little less than 2 minutes of nothing at that moment. I mean, you could see Brad Sigmund took several pretty deep breaths, and then suddenly the shots rang out at, I believe Christy said it was 6:05 and 50 seconds. At that point, you did see a small red stain